Hi guys, it's Emily, and it's the first day of March, so I'm here to bring you my March TBR. I don't normally do TBRs because I'm usually a mood reader, but this month I'm taking part in like two different readathons that I figured could use some more promotion, so I figured I'd do a TBR and show off my books. So the first book I want to get to in March I'm already reading, and that is A House Full of Daughters by Juliet Nicolson. This is a memoir of Juliet Nicholson's family, specifically the women in her family, and it goes through 7 generations, starting with like her great grandmother and ending with her daughter. So it's pretty fascinating so far. I've only gotten through the great grandmother so far, and now I'm on the great grandmother. So it's going pretty well. I just started it last night, and I'm already 50 pages in, so I don't think this will take me very long to read. After I finish that book, my second book for the month will be Middlemarch by George Eliot, and I'm reading this for Middlemarch March, which is being hosted by Jennifer over at Insert Literary Pun here, and I'll link her announcement video of that over down below. And I have never read this book, and I don't even know that much about it. I mean, I just know that it's like a classic that a lot of people have read and that a lot of people love. And I specifically bought this edition because this is the same edition that Jennifer has, and I figured it would be better so that I can keep up with her discussion posts and videos and all that to have the same edition. It's really pretty, like it's got the deckled edges and it's just so beautiful, and I just really think it's a lovely book. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this read along, and we're supposed to read like 3 chapters of this a day. I don't know if I'm going to do that. I think I might just read like chunks of it at a time, but I'm definitely planning to keep up with the Twitter and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this, and it's quite a chunker, so this is going to be my big book for the month as well. Next readathon I'm planning to take part in this month is March Mystery Madness, and that one is hosted by Elizabeth over at Lizzie Faye Loves Books, and then Troy, and then Di, I think. And I'll link Elizabeth's video down below because she's the one that I saw it on. But I'm planning to read 2 books for that readathon. I don't have them yet because they're still I'm going to get them from the library. But the first one is The Life We Bury by Alan Eskens. And I don't really know that much about this. I know it's about a boy who's interviewing a man who got out of prison who was accused of a murder many years ago, and then as the boy is interviewing him, he starts to think that maybe the man didn't actually commit the murder, and so he and a female friend go out and try to solve the murder. I saw this book on Rachel from the Shades of Orange channel. She's mentioned it several times. She really loves this book, and she actually just mentioned it like this week in a mystery recommendations video, and I'll link that video down below too because every book she mentioned in that video would be great for March Mystery Madness if you're thinking about participating. So I'm looking forward to getting that from the library. And then the next book I'm planning to read for March Mystery Madness is Murder at Capitol Hill by Margaret Truman. I read Margaret Truman's First Ladies back in December, and I enjoyed it, but she's mostly known for writing mysteries, so I'm going to try this one out because it's the one that is at my library. There's a whole series of them, but they only have like this one and maybe like 1 or 2 others. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't really know much about it except that apparently there's a murder and it takes place on Capitol Hill, and like her whole series is about murders taking place in like famous Washington places like the Ford Theater and the White House and the Capitol and all that. So I'm looking forward to trying this one out, and if I like it, I might try the others. So there's only there's 8 prompts for the March Mystery Madness, but I'm only going to be reading 2 because those are like the only 2 mysteries on my TBR right now, because I'm not like the biggest mystery reader. But yeah, I'm looking forward to participating in the discussion and all that for March Mystery Madness as well. The next book I'm planning to read after those is The Handmaid's Tale by Margaret Atwood. This I want to read for a Goodreads group I'm in. It's the book of the month over there because the theme for the month is women. And of course this is about a dystopian novel where women don't have very many rights, and I think they're just allowed to like have children and that's it, and they're not allowed to like work or do anything else. I don't know much about this except that I know it's dystopian and that it deals with women, not having very many rights. I know tons of people love this book. My cousins that I consider like they're the closest things I have to sisters. They both really love this book, and they both told me I should read it like multiple times. So I definitely am excited to finally getting to this great dystopian classic. Next book I'm planning to read is, of course, my Chronicle of Narnia's book for the month, which is The Magician's Nephew. This is book number 6. I'm almost done. After this one, I only have one more. I know that this is actually, like, supposed to be the first book. Like, if you're reading it in chronological order, this takes place before the events of The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. So it's technically book number 1, although it's book number 6 in publication order, which is how I'm reading them. So I don't know too much about this except that it's about how Narnia was created, and I'm assuming it relates to like the Garden of Eden and things like that, since the Narnia books are sort of following the biblical story. But I'm excited to get to this one. I'm looking forward to it. And then the last 2 books I had this month are books that, I might not finish this month, but if I do, great. The first one is The Gift from the Sea by Morrow Lindbergh. I actually started this in February, and I read the first 2 chapters, and then I put it down, and then I picked it up again and read the first 2 chapters again, and then I put it down again. And I don't know why, it's so short. It's like it shouldn't be that hard to get through, but I just am having trouble sticking with it. I keep putting it down for something else. But this is Morrow Lindbergh's manifesto about what it means to be a woman, and like how women, specifically mothers, is her main focus. Mothers with children have to find themselves and be their own person in order to be, to have good mental health and all that. So it's really short, and apparently it's really beloved by a lot of women. So it probably would be a good book for like Women's Month. So I hope to get to this one because it really should not take this long to finish it. And of course, I borrowed this from my mom, and my mom really likes this book as well. So I'm excited to get to this. And then the last book I have is my textbook, which is Understanding Archives and Manuscripts. I've been reading this for class. I think I might finish it just because we've been having to read like a chapter every week. But if I don't finish it, I'll finish it in April. But yeah, this isn't like something I'm reading for a challenge or anything. It's just for school, but I'm considering it part of my book count this year because it's a book. So yeah, this is pretty good for a textbook. I wouldn't recommend it if you have to read it, unless you have to read it for a class, because, it's kind of textbooky. That's not a word, but you know what I mean. It's not something you read for enjoyment, is what I'm saying. So yeah, those are all the books I'm planning to get to in March, and I'm excited about Middlemarch and March Mystery Madness, and I'll link all of the announcement videos and all that stuff below, and I hope everybody's having a great first week of March, and I'll talk to you later. Bye!